Catalina Island. Just 22 miles from the coast of sunny Southern California, this hidden island getaway is known for its outdoor activities, beautiful scenery, and overall relaxing atmosphere. In this video, we ask some of the residents of Catalina Island what makes it such an amazing year-round travel destination, and some tips to make the most of your Catalina Island adventure.
So what makes Catalina unique and why it should be on your travel plans? For being so close to LA, Catalina really is a world apart. We've got 60 species of plants and animals that are found here and nowhere else in the world. You've got rugged coastlines, pristine beaches, beautiful vistas. It really is a special place to come visit.
Catalina Island is one of the best kept secrets in Southern California. It is more like a small European town that is nestled here with days and days of opportunities for fun and adventure.
For people wanting to get to Catalina from the mainland, there are basically two options. You can fly there. That would probably be the best in my opinion because the flight is only about 14 to 15 minutes and you can get to Pebbly Beach. We can have a taxi on standby and you'll be in town in a matter of 3 to 4 minutes. So it's very efficient. Where if you were to take a boat to Catalina, that can take as much as an hour and 15 to an hour and 30 minutes, depending on the sea state and things like that.
The small town of Avalon being 2 square miles, our main downtown area is nestled here in just 1 square mile. We have small rows of streets and each one is lined with quaint little mom and pop shops, as well as restaurants and activity centers as well.
Some of the things when visiting the island that I would recommend you do would be definitely renting a golf cart and going around the town. It's a good way to see all the sights and get to see all the cool points. Also, taking a helicopter tour to the airport, grabbing a quick lunch. It's a great way to get good views and go up to the airport. It's super iconic. It's got a really neat airport runway.
In Avalon, we've got our Trailhead building, which has a great restaurant and retail space. And if you've got time, get up to the Wrigley Memorial and Botanic Garden for a curated display of all of our plants that can be found on Catalina, along with the beautiful Wrigley Memorial.
So one of the landmark locations on the island is the Catalina Island Casino. Casino really just was taken from the Italian term that means gathering place or place of entertainment, which it certainly is. The main level is the Avalon Theater, which was one of the first built for talking films. And then on the top floor is a circular ballroom. It is still one of the most amazing spaces on the island, and it is an Art Deco masterpiece.
You know, you really never know what you're going to come across when you go out into the interior of Catalina, from the bison herds to the bald eagles, the remote beaches, and the beautiful wildflower blooms in the spring. It really is a rugged and special place that's been kind of lost in time in a way. If you're interested in a multi-day hiking and camping experience on Catalina, I highly recommend the famous Trans-Catalina Trail. You start at the Trailhead building, get your permit, and along with your camping reservations, you hike along the ridges and down to the beaches all along the entire length of Catalina. You can do it in 3 days or 4 days, depending how you do it, but it's over 35 miles of pristine, beautiful single-track trail that'll take you through the riparian woodlands, the valleys, the peaks, and some of the greatest beachside camping you'll ever see.
So one of the places on Catalina Island that I would highly recommend visiting is Two Harbors. Now, Two Harbors is about a 7-minute flight west from Avalon. One of the reasons why Two Harbors is so special is because there is a little town of about 200 to 300 people there, but there is also a landing spot that we utilize there to drop people off. We do a lot of picnics there. We do a lot of landings there for people who want to get to that side of the island for different reasons, like just to go visit or hike. We do a lot of wedding proposals on that side of the island as well.
Catalina Island's Bird Rock is very famous for sailors who go out to Catalina, especially that are going to Two Harbors. It actually marks the entrance into Two Harbors. It stands about a half mile offshore. And interestingly enough, it is a privately owned island.
We have what's called a heli hiking tour here, where you're organized to fly into a remote area on 1 or 2 of the trails that are lesser known and lesser traveled here on the island.
Catalina, and even Avalon specifically, has some of the greatest underwater marine environments you'll find on the West Coast.
If it's your first time to Catalina and you're interested in actually diving, they have a dive shop that's located in town and connected to the Casino Point dive area where you can rent scuba gear, you can get scuba instruction, you can snorkel, they'll give you wetsuits if it's cold out and that type of the season so that you can enjoy the experience.
There's kayak rentals and of course stand-up paddle boarding.
So if you have an opportunity to go on a glass bottom boat or some sort of boat tour, it's great to, outside of the ferry, see the island from the water.
We have semi-submersible submarines that you can go out and take your children and they can see the fish. There's also parasailing that runs year-round. You can get 90 feet above and see the entire island as you're flying through the water. Many activities that the whole family can enjoy here on Catalina Island.
A lot of the times I get asked about the Catalina wine mixer and if it's real, and it definitely is. It's a blast. It's a fun weekend. There's tons of different tastings, lots of different places to stop and try wine and whiskey. You'll never not have fun doing it.
At the Catalina Museum for Art and History, we have monthly events. We do First Fridays at the museum, and so every first Friday of the month you can come to the museum.
In the spring and in the fall, we have our famous art festival, which is popped up all along our main front street here. We also host in the fall Catalina Comedy Island, as well as many other pop-up events throughout the year.